Hi, it's Jimmy with Tom's Mechanical. Today I wanted to give you a glimpse into your system and talk about why maintenance is so important. Now here we have one of our training units in the warehouse here. As you can see, even in the warehouse, it gets fairly dirty. Your coils are in this area here. They go all the way around the unit. And it's very important to get these cleaned at least once a year, if not 2 or 3 times throughout the summer, depending on the environment that it sits in. Now, 25, 30 years ago, these were just a box with 2 motors in it and a couple switches. If you look in here, as you can see, most units nowadays are controlled by circuit boards. So there's a lot that can go wrong within one of these boards here. During maintenances, we check out all the operations and check the performance of the unit. Obviously, there's still capacitors in some of them, transformers, so there's plenty of things that can go wrong, and most of the time, anytime one of these things fails, it will shut your system down, so it's good to have it checked out. So that's just the basics of the outdoor unit. Let's go take a look at the indoor unit. All right, so here we are at your indoor unit. This is an electric air handler. You may have a furnace, but in the cooling mode, they kind of do the same thing. So we'll go over a few things over here as well. So we have the evaporator coil inside this box. That's where your Freon gets pumped to the indoor unit. That's what helps it remove heat from the house. Every one of them is going to have a blower motor. If you'll notice in here, a lot more wires again. We've got another circuit board in here that controls all the settings in this unit and tells it what to do. We've got your heating elements, transformers, breakers, contactors. Again, there's a whole lot of stuff in here that over time can fail. It all gets checked out and inspected during your maintenance inspection. Another important thing to look at is your filter. Yours may be at the unit like this, or it may be in a ceiling register somewhere. If it's a 4-inch, like this big box, it's usually good for about 6 months, 3 to 6 months. If they're the 1-inch ones in your ceiling registers, then you should probably replace them every 30 to 90 days. So, again, looking at all the electrical components in here, you can imagine how many things may be able to go wrong in here. So if we get a look at them before the season starts, we'll have a better idea of how the system is going to operate. Another thing that happens during air conditioning is we're removing humidity from the house, and so we have to do something with that water. That's where these drain lines come in. So you typically will have a set of drain lines. One of them will go to your main plumbing, that's your primary. The other one will go outside. So if you ever see water dripping from a pipe outside, that means it's not going where it's supposed to go. And depending on your setup, that could mean this pan, this emergency drain pan, is full of water. And even though you may have a float switch, these could buckle, you could have it overflow, and then the next thing you know, water's coming through your ceiling. So a very important part of your maintenance is getting these drain lines maintained. And so most people think that's all there is to your air conditioning, the outdoor unit and the indoor unit, but there's a third component that is very important. It's your air delivery system or your duct system. On this side, we have your return air. This is where it's pulling hot air from the house into the unit so that it can be cooled. This side is your supply air. Many will have dampers such as this. I'm not sure if you can see that, but you can control how much airflow goes to each room and balance the airflow throughout the house. If your ductwork is old and uninsulated, it's not going to hold, it's going to lose some of that cool air as it's pumping the air through the system. If there are kinks in your ductwork, you're not going to be getting air where it needs to go. So again, that is a very overlooked part of a system. A lot of companies don't look at them when they come out. We do. So again, that's just kind of a basic look at how your system works within your home. Every system is kind of set up differently, but this is just our training equipment, and this is what we do to train our technicians on the operation of the equipment. So if you'd like to get your system maintained, just give us a call. We'd be glad to come out and take a look at it for you.